A couple weeks back on a Sunday night, I was in my room. This is my room, and I got a call from my dad. He told me to come downstairs. So I come downstairs, and there's the full Asian family discussion going on. My grandfather in his rocking chair, just legs up, just vibing, deep in thought. He looked like he was the Buddha, just meditating. Or maybe he was asleep. Then you have my grandmother in one of those plastic chairs, like the ones you see at a coffee shop, the ones that can stack really easily. And she's there like really anxiously, like, oh. She looked like she just found out her grandson does ketamine, or like killed somebody, or even worse, failed his math exam. And then my dad pulls out a chair in this triangle formation, like we're gonna sacrifice somebody to Satan. And then they proceeded to talk to me about my future. What do you do in your room all day? Staying away from you. They wanted me to at least, if you're not going to become a doctor, just at least get a job at McDonald's or KFC before school starts. You have 2 months. Just get a job. At least you can see how the business operates and everything. My dad was talking my right ear and my grandma was talking my left ear, and there was my half-deaf grandfather just there like, send him to driving school. He's been repeating that for months, like a shell-shocked World War II soldier. Just like, oh, send him to driving school. I'm 16. You have to be 18 to drive. I'm not gonna age 2 years in 2 months. Back in my day, 16 meant the same as 18. You know, we had real responsibilities. I don't think that's gonna hold up in court. I said no to everything no matter what. I just know that spending the next 2 months grinding on this channel would be far better than the instant rewards of getting a job. The choice was basically delay gratification and build my own business, or you could get instant gratification by working for somebody else's. And I'm proud of myself for not caving into demands that didn't sit well with me, because I know the past me would not have done that. Back then, I would just do whatever family told me to do. And that's how I ended up learning piano for 9 years. You know, you watch those like prison documentaries and they always say, in prison, don't get into fights. But if someone steps up to you, even if they're Mike Tyson, you have to fight. And that's because if you don't put up a fight, then you're gonna be picked on forever. You're seen as the loser and you're an easy target. If you fight and lose, you lose this time. But people understand that you might not lose the second time. People understand that, oh, there's something to him. You know, he'll fight back if he has to. And that can earn even the hardest criminals respect. Or in other words, if you let everyone walk over you like a bridge, then you're just everyone's little bitch. I realized that in order to not be a loser, all you have to do is stand up for yourself just once. When I was a wee lad, when I was a little kid, I was on the school bus and I sat at the back with the big kids. They were like 3 to 5 years older than me. And if you've ever taken a school bus, you know the weirdest shit happens at the back of the bus. I was relentlessly bullied because I was small and skinny, which makes sense. I was an easy target. I remember one time like 5 boys, maybe 5 to 8 boys ganged up on me and like they took off my pants and my shoe and they started yeeting the shoe around. They were like, oh, his underwear is blue. Like, bro, everyone on the bus, well, except for the weird kid that like jacks off at the back of class, everyone on the bus is wearing underwear. Why are you shaming me for it? What are you not wearing? I don't remember doing this, but apparently I told my grandma, and then she got on the bus with me one morning. So I got on the bus, my grandma followed me on the bus, and she really wanted to give these bullies a piece of her mind. So she's like this tall and she's like, oh, and she started screaming and shouting and threatening them. And then I realized the bullies get on the bus 2 stops later. She's just screaming at a bunch of obedient bookworms. She tried her best. You are not the bigger man for getting beat up. The common advice is, you know, people say, don't fight back, just tell the teacher. But bro, the teacher was so like aggressive because they got the disciplinary teacher. So she was really aggressive. She came up to me after she found out. She was like, who is bullying you, huh? What's this class? Who the fuck? And 7-year-old me nearly pissed himself Like, bro, why are you screaming at me? You're bullying me now. And looking back, I'm not the bigger man. Like, the loser is not going home like, yes, I didn't fight back, I got beat up. I'm such a sigma male. I was in the shower like 4 hours later, thinking of the best comeback. I'm gonna say next time. I'm definitely gonna say. I'm not gonna back out. We inherently want to be aggressive and defend ourselves. That's normal. But your parents have probably stomped out all that male aggression because a kid being angry is seen as a bad thing. So they get rid of your anger and aggression instead of teaching you how to control it. Just eat the vegetables and be quiet, alright? But then that same child will go on to think, just take the insults and be quiet. Internally, he wants to fight, but he's been conditioned to be too agreeable to stand up for himself. And that's how you end up losing your shoe on a bus. Never to be seen again. I still don't know where that shoe is. And I've corrected, like maybe a little bit overcorrected. Because now I'm a pretty disagreeable person, which is something I'm honestly quite proud of. If I disagree, I'll tell you. The lesson from all that is simply, I wish I hit back at least once. If I hit back, the bullying would probably have stopped. And even if it didn't, right? Even if everything was the same, I was still bullied for years, right? But I hit back once. That's all I changed. I just hit the bully once. That would have changed something in me. That would have changed my perspective about myself. Because there's nothing good or virtuous about being weak. You gotta be dangerous so that you can learn to control it. That's virtuous. So if I hit back, that would be step 1, be dangerous. Only after doing step 1 can I move on to step 2, which is to control it. And it's not just when you're physically challenged. If somebody verbally challenges you and says something that you don't quite agree with, you have to be able to say something, which is really hard. Most people think fighting back physically is hard, but fighting back verbally is even harder. Playing fast, you're just fucking shit. Technically, the most dangerous people are the people who do nothing. They see something bad happen, but they do nothing. And that is technically why bad things happen. Nobody does anything until it's too late. They never hit back. And after getting hit and hit and hit and not doing anything about it, that's how white boys end up shooting up schools. Or in other words, I'm not in danger. I am the danger. They never learned to be dangerous, so obviously they could never learn to control it. And because of that, when it did become dangerous, it was too late.
Hi, I'm Mike Tyson. Watch me beat Peter McNeely on Comcast Cablevision.
Hi, I'm Mike Tyson. Watch me beat Peter McNeely on Comcast Cablevision. Comcast Cable.
A couple nights ago, I had this extremely vivid nightmare. And I don't get nightmares. I put my sleep as my number 1 priorities because if you don't sleep, you can't function and think at a high level. And when your obsession is writing and creating and doing creative stuff, if you can't think at a high level, you're as useful as like a professional Rubik's Cube solver without fingers. So when I sleep, I sleep. There's no dreams, just knock out and wake up. That's it. But I had this nightmare where I was in a crowded place and I saw my dad. And I was following my dad through the crowded place, but it was a lot of people, so I had to catch up. He was like quite far ahead. And then later on in the dream, it became nighttime and the streets were less crowded. And then I found him, and then he started hitting me. So he started hitting me, and I was saying something I don't know what I said, but I was saying something in the dream, but he just couldn't hear me. Then I woke up. I woke up on the verge of tears, like so close to crying. Like, I do not cry. I haven't cried in like the 5 months since I started self-improvement.
Hey, do you wanna try I go over here, then I do it. I cross hand. So for that, just that one part. That part.
The part is where? Then what luckily?
Okay, you just play the bass, you just like...
I didn't cry, but I was super close, and I think that is actually a good sign. That means that childhood trauma and bullying has simply been relegated to bad dreams. And that's great progress. But we're all scared of something. Maybe that fear controls you and takes over your mind 24/7. Or maybe it just unconsciously affects you at the back of your head and it only comes out when you're asleep. But no matter what, we all have fears. I fear giving up my passion for an unfulfilling life. And what I did at the dinner table was courage. Not the absence of fear, but acting in the face of fear. Like, not to suck my own dick or anything, but like, I was pretty fucking courageous there, alright? Because when I walked away from that dining table, nothing in my life changed. My family still want me to get a real job. Like, I did not earn anyone's respect at the dinner table. Probably the opposite, right? Because like, the thing is, they're probably a little bit disappointed that I spend all day in my room writing, recording, and editing, and doing push-ups, and sometimes I scream the word fuck really, really loud and they can hear it, like just now. Who the fuck? I didn't earn their respect, but I definitely earned mine. Because if something truly does not sit right with you, and you let it happen anyway, it shows that you don't respect yourself. You should always acknowledge that, yeah, my beliefs could be wrong. I could be completely wrong. But if you just roll over and say, oh, I guess I'm wrong, instead of fighting for your beliefs, then your beliefs mean nothing. Your beliefs mean nothing because he who tolerates everything stands for nothing. And that means you have to fight, especially when you're scared. Especially when you don't feel like it. Assuming you stood up for yourself in a mature way, even if everyone still doesn't respect you, at least you respect yourself. And if you respect yourself, you're immune to being a loser, because losers, by definition, lose every time because they do not try. That's what makes them losers. They don't value themselves enough. They don't even think they can win, so they automatically lose. They don't value themselves, so they don't respect themselves. And obviously, since they don't respect themselves, nobody respects them. More often than not, how people view you is simply a symptom of how you view yourself. And how you view yourself is simply a symptom of how you act. That's why you should always stand up for yourself and fight back. Because you can't force anybody to respect you. But the least you can do is refuse to be disrespected. Take action. I think you're ugly as fuck, bro. Gonna stand up for yourself, bitch? Gonna stand up for yourself? What you gonna do, bitch? Oh man, I'm toxic. Okay, give me a kiss. Mwah.